Hi, I'm Carla D. Tillery, and welcome to the Chair Chronicles. I'm your life coach and your favorite auntie. You know, that aunt that is so not afraid to tell you the truth and help you see things just a little clearer, and you love her advice. Well, as a certified life coach with over 2 decades of experience, I'm very passionate about helping you find your happiness. So pull up a chair and let's have a talk. So LA, today we're going to talk about how do you dream big?
Great topic.
B-I-G. There's no other way to dream.
Yes.
If you're going to dream big.
Go all in.
Go all in.
Yes.
So let's try to see if we can just go through a little bit of like that thought process.
Okay.
What do you do once you have an idea?
Mm-hmm.
And then
the light bulb goes off.
The light bulb goes off. And then what do you do with it?
Right.
So dreaming big to me really represents having a great idea, a project, or something that you've always wanted to do, but it seems like it is too big for you to actually make it come true.
Right. And how do you do it? Yeah.
So this podcast for me was it was a dream of mine years ago to kind of create like a platform to be able to share ideas and to sort of engage with all of you to, just kind of get some feedback on a lot of different topics and different types of conversations.
Yeah.
And so when podcasting came out, it was, a few years ago, it was like the big thing everybody was doing. You see all the stars.
Right.
Now Michelle Obama has her own podcast. Yes. It's awesome.
Go Michelle.
And so it's like, okay, so how little old me, how I'm going to make this come a reality.
Well, I'm telling you, I'm excited about it. And just to see and to hear, how did you do it? How did you move beyond it just being a dream of yours?
Yeah. So dreaming big to me, if I look at the letters in big, right?
Okay.
And make an acronym.
Yes.
B would represent believe.
Yes.
You've got to have some type of belief system in yourself and the idea.
Right.
So at some point, you got to make it. You got to really have an opportunity to say this actually can happen.
Yes.
Right. Otherwise, it's just going to be a dream that you just kind of think about or an idea that just kind of stays in your head.
Yes.
But you never articulate it. You never share it. You never express it.
Right. And if you don't believe in it.
Oh my gosh. How are you going to get anybody else to believe in it?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you got to start to believe. I mean, that's like step number one.
Number
you
one.
got to believe
You
that
have
it really
to.
is something beyond a dream.
Yes.
But really believe that it is something that is supposed to exist, have shape, have form.
Right.
And really kind of come to earth.
Yeah.
So to speak.
Yeah. And I think I use a phrase that says, will this and how will this impact not just myself, but the world?
Right.
And I think that's where you get the excitement of this is not just a dream. This can actually happen. I can make this happen.
Make it happen.
Yeah.
And I think dreaming big also has a little element of, again, like I was saying, like it's beyond you. It's like it's almost too good to be true. Like it's so big that it can scare you.
Right.
Because it's like, how do I get all the pieces together to make this happen?
Right.
So I do believe that it's a little bit coming out of yourself, beyond yourself, impacting others in some way. And to me, that's how I sort of interpret or express what dreams are to me.
Yeah. And I think, a lot of times we leave them stuck in our head. Put it on paper.
Right.
After you've thought about it and there's something about that dream that you feel like, oh, I can do this. Put it on paper.
Or write it down.
Or
use your smartphone.
Something. Sticky pad.
Look, my generation, we're going to write it out.
Absolutely. We're not dating ourselves though.
That new generation, they're going to be writing it down in their tablet or putting it in their iPhone. Yes. But the point is well said. It's like you have to put the idea on something so you can see it, so it becomes visible. So write it down or type it out. Right. What is that idea? What is that concept? And believe that it has the teeth, the groundwork to really become something.
Right. And so then what do we do after that? We've written it down.
So B, you got to believe. First, you got to believe that,
okay.
that the idea can actually develop itself into something that's tangible and something that's real.
Yes.
The I is invest. Listen, if you don't invest in your idea or concept, how in the world will you expect anybody else to?
Right.
You've got to be willing to invest your time, invest your resources. It's gonna pull on you. It's gonna take time from you.
Yeah.
It's gonna take financial resources from you.
Right.
And if you are not willing to do that, you cannot absolutely expect somebody else to be giving you money for your idea.
Right.
Someone else to be giving time for your idea if you're not willing to do it.
Right.
And I think sometimes we are so busy, we have these great ideas, but we don't carve out the time that it takes to do the research to make sure you understand what all does it take for this to really become something.
Right.
And the first thing we want to do is just tell somebody and hope they'll take our idea and then give us credit for it.
Right. And I was getting ready to say that. We ain't done a thing.
We ain't got no skin in the game. None. Not even a little scratch.
And then we'll say, that was my idea.
Exactly. Because someone else probably heard the idea and said, you know what, that resonates with me and I'm going to make it happen while you're still sitting dreaming in dream phase.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, look at what you're doing now. You just said it. You have a lot of podcasts out there.
Right.
But you believed that what you could bring and share with the world was just as important. You're not looking to be like anyone else. You're going to be your own person, but you know that you have impact. So what did you do? It went from here.
It went from the idea, the concept, and a thought a few years ago to finally coming. Now, but there were tons of obstacles. And one of it, like I said, was time. I just was struggling with getting the time to sort of create the outline, to create the content, to kind of figure out how all of this is going to happen. So that was one of the biggest obstacles was really, it was me. It was me kind of doing the intentional things I needed to do in my life and in my schedule to really have some focus and attention on it.
Right. So there again, it's about you investing in you.
That's right. Investing in you. Investing in yourself.
And that's, again, time, money, and you may have to take a step back and wait. You may have to forge ahead quickly. So you have to really know that if this is what you want to do, you have got to put in the time. And it can be done. It can be done. You've got to put in the time. You also have to be flexible and adaptable to changing idea or an element of how it can be implemented. Right.
Because things change.
Right.
And so from the day one that I had the idea, this is not how I thought it was going to happen.
Right.
We went to other people and we thought we was going to be in a different location and we thought we was going to have some other type of technical support. And so while I thought that all of that was going to work out, it didn't.
Right.
And I had to adjust, adapt, and be flexible in how things were really flowing in the moment.
Right.
And this moment, it kind of created itself very differently than what I originally thought it was.
And what I hear is you didn't stop.
I didn't stop. I think this, when you have a dream or idea that you really want to come to fruition, I don't think it'll leave you.
Right.
This idea did not leave me, even though there was some time that elapsed, years that elapsed from the thought and the concept to now having it, be live and available. So it was, I had to be adaptable. I had to be nimble, but I did not stop because the idea did not leave me.
There you go.
And I think that's another true test if it's a dream. If it's something that you really feel like you need to do, the idea will not leave you.
No, it won't.
It will not change course.
No, not
it
at
may
all.
change how it looks. It may change when it's implemented.
Right.
But the idea, the core of it,
it won't.
It'll still be right there.
These are great nuggets. These are great nuggets.
Right there.
Yeah.
And so the last thing that I would say. Okay. So we talked about B, which is believe. I, invest.
Yes.
G, it's a simple word. It's just, it represents group. Who are your group of supporters?
Yes.
Who are your group that will give you information, help encourage you.
Yeah.
They may be a part and connected to it in some way.
Yes.
So who is that group? You've got to identify that group.
Yeah. And that group also will challenge you. And it doesn't mean challenge in a way saying that what you're dreaming about, what you're thinking about doing and creating is wrong or it's not right or it's not fitting for you. But what they'll do is they'll have questions for you that will actually make you dig even deeper.
Yes.
And make you think about things you didn't think before.
That's right.
Or maybe even be able to give you names of resources that you're looking for.
Right.
Or they themselves may be able to help you with something.
Absolutely.
They're not there to take the dream from you or the idea from you, but they're there to enhance and help.
That's right.
Love it. And motivate.
And sometimes, there's this expression about be careful. And I think you was, like if you share your idea, somebody may grab it.
Right.
You do have to be careful who's in that group.
Right.
Because I think initially you want to have a trusted, right? A trusted group of people, a trusted group of supporters, a trusted network that you can share your idea and they challenge you in a way that helps it come to fruition or strengthen it, kind of give it more bones, more teeth to it, so that it has some content, some complexity to it. Right. And so those people will challenge you. I got some good challenges out there.
Yes, she does. Absolutely.
I've got some good challenges. They'll give you that constructive feedback, and sometimes it hurts you. Like, you're taking away from my great idea, right? But it's necessary.
Yeah.
It absolutely is necessary. And one of the things that I personally have had to overcome is just sharing things with people.
Right.
And from the sense of asking people to be a part of something that I would love for them to be connected to.
Right.
And what I've learned as a leader and a manager of projects and people and things of that nature is that you have to cast a vision, right, to the right people.
Right.
That will be drawn to it and attracted to it because they share interests or they share values or they're connected to you in some way.
Right.
Because it's not like you're pleading and begging for help.
No.
But when you cast a vision for something, it's very different from asking for help.
Right.
Cast your vision. Cast the idea. What does it mean? Where is it going? What's the impact of it?
Right.
And I think when you cast a vision, it's going to automatically draw and attract people to it.
Yes. Because they see the worth in it. They see the excitement that you have around it. And they also want to be a part of, and not so much a part of the dream that you've come up with, the brand that you come up with, but just be a part of your vision.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And they'll feel it. They'll feel the added value, the energy and the added value of what you're doing. And it's so key. And I think that really that in itself also will drive you forward.
Right.
So when you have those times where you're not sure, maybe I should give up, maybe I should. Those are those people, like you said, they're gonna like, come on.
You can do this.
You can do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now, is that? It doesn't always mean that those are people that you have had in your life for long periods of time. But like you said, cast that net. Cast that net.
Cast the net.
Yeah.
Cast the net of your vision. Cast it in a way that has enthusiasm.
Right.
And I say this, listen, if you're not excited about an idea you have,
I'm not excited.
How do you expect somebody else to be excited about it?
Right.
So there has to be some authenticity of joy, satisfaction, and passion along with it when you cast it. Right. And I also will say is that, you brought up a good point. So people that you cast it to, they can serve in different capacities.
Right.
Some will be just mere encouragers or supporters from an external perspective. Some will actually want to be a part of it.
Right.
And will join your team and will be... There'll be resources for you to tap into to help it come from dream to something that is tangible and again has some fruition to it.
Yes.
So I think there are going to be different types of people within the group, and you'll need to be able to recognize who is supposed to be a part and connected in what way.
Right.
And they don't have to be people that you've always known.
Right.
You may come into contact with somebody, oh my God, there'll be a great person to be a part of this. Let me, again, not beg for help. Let me cast my vision.
Right.
And see if it draws and attracts them.
Right. Oh, It's wonderful.
Yeah,
I mean,
I still
feel
remember
it.
the day you and I talked.
Yes.
And we had a great conversation.
Very good conversation.
And then I cast the vision, and you was like, yes, oh my God, I want to be a part. Da, 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 da.
Yes.
And before I could even ask you for anything, you immediately respond to the vision.
Yeah. And I'm humbled by it, and I'm excited. I'm excited because I feel like, you know, we were drawn together for a reason and a purpose.
Right.
You
Absolutely.
know? And so, you know, this is your dream, and I'm just excited to be a part of it. You know, I don't feel like, you know, when I've sat down and thought about having my own podcast, I didn't. And as much as I love to talk, you know, and I have something to say, but I didn't look at it that way. So I'm excited for you. And so although, you know, you've included me and I feel a part of, but this is your dream. And I'm just excited to be along for the ride. And not just riding, but I want to do some work as well.
Right.
So this is great.
Right.
This is what we're talking about with big.
With big. That's
Hashtag
right.
big.
Believe, invest, and have a group.
Yes.
That's it. That's it. And again,
Not a
you
hard
will
concept.
absolutely have tons of fears and tons of challenges.
Oh, yes.
Anything that feels too much for you to carry by yourself will come with a whole bunch of obstacles and fears.
Yeah.
And one of the things was debating whether this was going to be just an audio podcast or a video podcast.
Right.
You know, we struggle with like the hair and the face and what we look like on camera and all of those things. And then initially kind of testing it and having people to look at it, we were getting a lot of feedback that you need to change this, you need to change that.
Yeah.
And so all of those things can hold you back. But I say with any obstacle, any fear, or any challenge, deal with it.
Yes.
Face it.
It's okay.
Right?
It's okay.
Take the feedback, take the constructive criticism and say, how do I rework this so that it is, so that I'm addressing my own personal fear.
Right. And you have to tap into that, and you have to be honest about it. And it's okay.
It's okay.
If anything, fear either, I believe, does one or two things. It either drives us away, or it catapults us forward and says, I'm going to make it. I'm going to do this.
Right.
Regardless, you know. So all of those that feedback that you're getting, you even second guessing yourself, it's supposed to do something. It's supposed to stir something up within you.
That's right.
Yeah.
And there were a number of issues on just the technical side of podcasting that I had no idea of what we were going to be tapping into. But it has stretched me. It will pull you. It will have you feeling uncomfortable at times because sometimes you're like, I don't know how to do this. And so then it's a learning opportunity. There's huge learning curves with any dream that you put out there. And so it doesn't matter what your idea or your concept is. I believe that it will challenge you to learn new things and push you. It will push you. So the technology stuff, oh my goodness.
When I tell you, she worked through it.
It's, you know, and we're still learning. We're still learning how to deal with some of the technical difficulties and issues and challenges and how to sync things up and all of that stuff.
But watching you just say, I'm going to learn this, even in your frustration. And then the next thing I know, you're like, I got it. You know? So and that's all a part of the big.
Yes, that's a part of the big.
It's a part of the big. You were like, I'm not going to let this stop me. I'm going to figure it out. I could easily call someone and have them do it, and I may have to pay for it. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. But how about challenging yourself and stretching yourself? You've learned a new skill, a new talent, because again, we all have something to contribute to this world.
That's right.
So you've done it. So someone says, oh, I can't do such and so. Carla knows how to do that. How did you do it?
And that's an opportunity to share. It's an opportunity to pass along to other people. Like not only how to overcome the challenge, but maybe there's something I learned that I can share with someone else so that they can develop that skill. And I remember just like listening to a lot of the professional like sports athletes and even the music artists as well talk about how they dealt with their finances. And some lost a lot of money because they didn't know and they would hire somebody else. And I I don't think there's anything wrong with hiring experts. We absolutely should.
Right.
But there is a baseline level of understanding that I think we should have.
Oh, yeah.
Because at some point you've got to oversee. Right?
Yeah.
If you're not doing it, you've got to oversee the person that's in charge of your finances
right.
or in charge of the technical aspects. And so you need enough sort of grounding of information and understanding of that particular area to do the overseeing so you can kind of ask the right questions. Mm-hmm. So you can see things when they don't look right and they don't feel right, and you can have your voice to say, I'm not sure I understand that. Either explain it to me, show it to me, or sometimes you have to get a second opinion. I was going to say, get a second opinion.
Yes.
We talk about that on the medical side of things, right?
Yeah.
Right? We don't fully understand all of it because I'm not a medical doctor.
I'm not either.
But enough to know that I need to ask some questions.
Right.
Enough to know that if there's something that is a serious diagnosis, that maybe I need to get a second opinion.
Right. I heard what you said, but I'm going to go and talk to someone else. I need to be able to compare and
notes. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
This is good.
So I think there's so much to tap into when you start to think about dreaming. I actually have a poster in my office that says "Dream without fear and love without limits," and I see that every single day.
Powerful.
So dreaming without fear, because fear will paralyze you.
It will.
Like you said, it'll either draw you back or move you forward. And when it draws you back, it paralyzes you to the point where you don't move, you don't do anything, you don't put anything in place, and so that stops the dream. It stops. It really stays just as a dream.
As a dream, yeah.
Because it never takes fruition of anything.
No work.
No work. There's no work for me to just lay around and just be thinking, oh, I want to do this.
And then later on, you say, I should have, I could have.
Shoulda, could have. Right, exactly.
No, we want you to be excited about your dreams, and not all of them, turn into something, but you have to discover, you have to get out there and try.
That's right.
You have to try.
So go out there and dream.
Yes, big.
B.I.G. Believe, invest, and have a group of supporters, a strong network for you, because you're going to need it.
Yes.
You're going to need it.
And I believe that if you follow those steps, there's nothing that you can't do. And we're going to be looking forward to hearing some of these dreams that are actually have teeth and they're moving forward. I love it.
That's right.
I love it. I'm excited.
So please share your ideas, your concepts. What are you dreaming?
Yes.
What is it or what are your fears that are holding you back from allowing that dream to actually come into fruition? We want to encourage you as well, so that we can push you. We can be a part of your group network that's supporting you and encouraging you. So dream big. So thank you for joining another podcast. We appreciate you so much. We ask that you stay tuned, stay connected on The Chair Chronicles.